It's quite something, lying in your tent at night with the storm raging just outside the single-walled Dyneema shelter. Desperately picturing yourself at the border of Wyoming.
What a night. It thundered, it rained. Oof, it was pretty crazy. I was glad it was during the night and not during the day. But yeah, looks decently clear today, so hope that will hold up at least until we get over the mountains. Then we should be good. But it would be nice with a sunny day, dry out some stuff, and yeah, crazy night.
I was finally closing in on the end of Colorado. I felt a burning desire to get this date over with as fast as possible, cross into something new, and drop down to lower elevations. This last stretch would loop up through Rocky Mountain National Park, head west to Steamboat Springs, and then turn north towards the border, to finally arrive at the rim of the Great Divide Basin in Wyoming. The end of this long chapter of snow and thunder. A moment of triumph, standing on the brink of this vast, barren land. Well, figuratively speaking, the actual border is somewhere in the middle of the forest. A place of no visual importance at all. I felt a bit lost, if I'm honest. There are times out here when you ask yourself why you're doing this, and I definitely reached that point. It wasn't about quitting. I'm way too stubborn for that. But if I wanted this so badly, why did it suddenly feel like I was just wasting my time out here? Colorado was wearing me down in a different way now. Not just in my legs and feet, but in my will to ever through-hike again. Couldn't I have spent this time back home doing things that felt more obviously valuable? Maybe it was the aftermath of the constant stress. But the views around each corner felt like just another version of the same old view. The challenges I'd been through had changed me in ways I couldn't ignore, and it was getting harder to see what this next chapter was supposed to give me. Rocky Mountain National Park had been hit by the East Troublesome Fire in 2020, and 3 years later the scars were still obvious. The park no longer allowed simple day hikes, which is what most CDT hikers rely on here. So we had to get an overnight permit and carry a bear canister. In Grand Lake we hitched up to the ranger station, managed to grab a walk-up permit for the same night and sacrificed our 4th of July firework plans, which turned out to be cancelled anyway because of the bad weather. In the end, it worked out for us. We hitched back down, rented a bear canister from the local outfitter for our dinners and a few snacks, and then headed back out into the wilderness.
That's cool.
'Cause I need you to look into mine. Tell me that you open your eyes. 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 All this feels strange and untrue, and I won't waste a minute without
Hey
you.
there, buddy. In Sweden we will call you fjällripa. I do not know if you're the same bird, but you're kind of beautiful, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at you posing. Wow. You are beautiful.
When we got back to the highway, we hitched down to Grand Lake for the second round of logistics, hand back the bear canister, resupply, and send our microspikes and ice axes home. We had now officially transitioned out of the snow, and I was expecting to get back to the easier kind of trail that I'd had before Colorado. We were lucky and managed to get a quick hitch back out to the trail. Rocky Mountain National Park ended up being more of a logistical chapter than anything else, but somehow all the puzzle pieces fell into place smoothly. Finally, it felt like Colorado was loosening its grip on us.
We had some pretty crazy weather last night, just when we got into our tent, like maybe 10 minutes after or something like that. It started thunder and lightning, and we had like hail that was super big. I don't know if you can see how big they are on the video that I took, but they were big and they left markings on my tent. Yeah, crazy night, and then the morning it was raining, so I actually got started a little bit late. I was too lazy.
Colorado didn't seem ready to loosen its grip on us just yet. And as the day went on, it only threw more challenges our way.
Yeah, you can probably not see how many there are, but there's mosquitoes around me. We're definitely in mosquito times now. Yeah. Hopefully this won't last for too long, because it's kind of hard to take breaks and be in camp and, you know, all that stuff that is actually fun. You can just do the boring part, the walking, so. But, yeah, I'm gonna eat a quick breakfast here and I'm gonna keep going. The bad weather rolled in. As soon as I stopped for lunch, it started to rain. I just pulled out my tent to dry it and it rolled in. But it seems to be behind me now, so I have quite a big peak to take here, so I'm hoping to get over that. And hopefully no thunder. I heard a little bit of thunder a while ago, but doesn't seem to be close, so hopefully I can get over the peak in time and, yeah, not have to deal with thunder on the peak. That would be nice for a change.
Having my lunch break ruined by a rainstorm was a heavy blow. Ever since the episode on Argentine spine, I'd been dreading another afternoon thunderstorm hitting out of nowhere. All the way up the ridgeline climb, I waited for it to happen. But luckily, this just seemed like a false alarm, and as I got closer to the top, it started to clear up. At least for the moment.
Alright, I'm at the top of Parkview Mountain, highest peak of the day. There's a small hut here. It's like a radio sort of thing. Kind of nice because it's very windy out there. So nice to just go in there and take shelter. Would have been a really nice lunch spot here. It's not too bad now, but it looks like it could be something pull in and also, so yeah, we'll see. Beautiful cabin.
It was somewhere here that I realized sending my snow gear home didn't automatically make the struggles go away. My mental state was constantly being thrown between monotony and the fear of being struck by lightning. A kind of stretched out discomfort I didn't really think of as getting out of my comfort zone. My shoes were mirroring the tiredness creeping up on me. And on top of that, my sleeping pad had been slowly deflating at night, forcing me to wake up and reinflate it. The sense of exhaustion had settled over me, and my pack felt heavier than it had in a long time, even though I just stripped it of its excess weight. I needed a reset, and I was hoping Steamboat Springs could be that reset. I didn't want my mental state to keep spiraling downward into negativity.
Steamboat Springs tomorrow. It's gonna be good to get to town. I definitely need a shower and I need to wash my clothes. I haven't done that since Silverthorn, but also my shoes are really falling apart. Yeah, it's kind of starting to hurt my feet a little bit. I'm gonna be on a gravel road soon, and then it's a highway the last bit, so should be pretty even. And then I'm buying new shoes in Steamboat for sure. So that's gonna be good. Yeah. Yeah, this has been a tough one. That really tough one for sure. Hard work and I'm kind of tired. Lost my thread there, but I'm kind of tired. It was a long day yesterday. Long day and a lot of uphills. Yeah, just a tough day. But yeah. Steamboat tomorrow. Hash browns, egg, bacon, pannkakor, hash browns, egg, bacon, pannkakor. This is my new marching song. It gets me to town. Highway 14. It's been a while since I had a good road walk. But yeah, this one is like 9 miles or something like that, and I don't have that much left. I think I have like maybe 3 miles more, something like that. A bit less even. So yeah, it's just so boring though. It's just so boring. Okay, so I got some new stuff. I got new shoes. I got new underwear, gas, food. What did you get, Pace?
I got 3 Alpine Air meals and swapped out my Darn Tough socks.
Yeah, new Darn Tough socks also. It's gotta be really good to change these shoes because these are very worn down and I was definitely feeling them in the end. There we go. Bye.
Good shoes.
Good shoes. It's always a little bit sad throwing away your shoes that has been with you for so long. Getting a lot of stuff figured out here in Steamboat. Repaired my pad. I found it's a very slow leak, so every night I wake up like one time and I have to reinflate it. So I finally, here at the KOA, I went into the pool and found the hole. It was kind of difficult because it was so small. So I'm gonna put some super glue on that and hopefully that will hold up. Big resupply, not so many days, but I have an absorbent. Do you say absorbent? No. Anyways, a lot. I have way too much snacks. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Ready for the next stretch. Ready to get to Wyoming, finally.
Over it. Oh, look at that, dude. Hash brown.
Sometimes you just need a quiet morning to remember how much more peaceful it is out here.
It's been a lot of mosquitoes. Last night when we got to the camp, we had to pitch our tents as fast as possible and then just get in. This morning even, usually they're gone by the morning, but yeah, they were still there in the morning. We've gone up a little bit. It's more like open meadows. Before I was in the forest and there was a lot of like ponds and lakes and stuff like that, so probably didn't help. Before we went out yesterday, we ate the craziest burger I have ever eaten. So instead of the bread, you have the donut. There was like powdered sugar on the donut. And what was it more? It was eggs, hash browns, bacon, peanut butter, cheese, and then meat. I think, yeah.
The mosquitoes were bad, and despite my complaints, I sat there in the buzzing and just accepted my fate. Sure, they were annoying. Mosquitoes are always annoying, but they didn't seem to bother me quite as much as they had before Steamboat. Maybe that town stop was just the reset I needed to find my way back into enjoying that balance.
time to get to Wyoming. In the end of the day, we're getting into Wyoming. I think it was like 28.7, something like that, from our campsite. Exciting. It's gonna be so good to get to a new state. So, yeah. Beautiful morning. Beautiful morning.
As I walked the last lonely, rough gravel road towards the border, I thought back to the start of Colorado. I felt like I was a completely different version of myself than the one that had stepped into this 700-something mile-long state. Summer storms in all shapes had pushed me to the brink. Post-holing had left me frustrated and angry. But at the end of every tough section, there had always been something that made it all worth it. Looking back on it now, it almost seemed easy, in a way. I mean, I did it, didn't I? I had overcome all those obstacles and was now walking back up this same lonely, rough gravel road to pick up the camera I'd placed there to film my one glorious moment. A road leading to an insignificant spot out in nowhere, marking a place of such significance.
8 miles to the border. Whoa! So excited. 7 miles. 6 miles. Woo-hoo. 5 miles. Excellent. 4 miles. Phew. 3 miles left to Wyoming. 2 miles left. Last mile of Colorado. Woo. Smile, Wyoming. God loves you. Fuck yeah. Wyoming state line. Wyoming, Colorado. Beautiful. I don't really know what to say. Colorado was tough. I'm gonna sit down. I'm so happy to be finished with it. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. And this should mark approximately halfways. A little bit difficult to know exact halfways since all of the alternates and stuff like that, but approximately halfways here. So I'll take this as halfways. Yeah, Wyoming. Why oh why oh why oh why? Why ever would I go to homing? I don't know. You tell me. Thank you, Colorado. It's been what they like to call a blast. Let's go, Wyoming.
I really don't like getting out of my comfort zone. It's difficult, painful, and honestly, just not that fun. I also feel like the whole comfort zone expression has been thrown around a bit too much. For me, it describes a process that rarely feels enjoyable in the moment. What I enjoy is the change that comes with it. But that change almost always has to pass through some kind of discomfort. And that's the necessary evil. Growth is good. Without growth comes stagnation. And stagnation might just be one of the biggest enemies of a life well lived. Colorado had proved this to me over and over again. Throughout the state, I'd found so much value in seeing this shift within myself. Maybe all the time spent out here wasn't as wasted as it had felt in the moment. Looking ahead, I knew that Wyoming would bring its own new form of growth. And that was something I was genuinely looking forward to. I was excited to hike through the desert again, to see the beauty of the golden, barren plains, to reach the Wind River Range, described by some as the most beautiful mountains in all the 50 states, to walk through the boiling cauldron landscape of Yellowstone with its rainbow colors and its wild animals. I was ready to take on a new adventure. Wyoming, I'm ready. Give me everything you got.